Hello, my name is Kira Buxbaum, and for my project I'm going to talk about the 10-day trip I took to Israel at the beginning of the summer. To start out the trip, we embarked on a 12-hour flight, which was pretty terrible, especially because with the time difference, by the time we arrived in Israel it was 7 a.m., so we had a full day ahead of us. Mostly on this first day we did sightseeing, including this overview of the beautiful portside city Haifa, and after a good night's rest we went on a hike up Mount Meron. Also very scenic, the first of many hikes on this trip. But on one of our non-hiking days, we toured the old city of Sfat, which looks like something you might find at Disney's Epcot Center, but it is a real city. It's one of the ancient and holy cities in Israel, and they have very cool art galleries and shops here. One of my favorite days was also the day that I got dehydrated and ended up with sun poisoning, but it was one of my favorites because we got to go to Jerusalem, where we got to see all the ancient ruins and old historical sites, including the Western Wall, which was surreal to see up close. And we also went to the Shuk, or marketplace, in Jerusalem, which had lots of outdoor fruit and candy stands. I wouldn't recommend eating anything that's been sitting out in the sun all day, but it was still very fun to walk through and look at everything. Another day we went to Mount Herzl Military Cemetery and Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum in Israel. It was definitely the most somber day of the trip, but it helped our group to bond a lot, and by the end of the trip we were all very close. When we moved out into the desert, we went on another hike up this truly terrifying mountainside, and we got a great overview of the desert, and we ended up at a Bedouin tent community where they told us all about their culture and how they sustain themselves using renewable energy sources, and ended the evening with a camel ride into the sunset, which was pretty awesome. The next morning we hiked up the Masada, and we got a great overview of the desert and the Dead Sea. We hiked down the mountain, which is about 1,300 feet tall. It took us an hour and a half, and we were in the hot sun, so we were all sweating buckets, so by the time we got to the bottom, we went to the Dead Sea to cool off, where you put this mud all over yourself. I think it's good for your skin, and then go float in the Dead Sea, which was also pretty awesome. Overall, it was an exciting experience, and it's definitely one of the most unforgettable trips of my life.